You know what Danger Force really was? It was the moment Henry Danger grew up and handed the chaos to the next generation. When Danger Force premiered, it didn't try to replace what came before. It knew its job. This was about kids being thrown into responsibility way too early and being told, yeah, you'll figure it out. And honestly, that's pretty accurate. At the center of everything was Ray, Captain Man, played by Cooper Barnes. Ray wasn't just the invincible superhero anymore. He was the mentor, the boss, the guy who absolutely should not be in charge of children, but somehow is. Cooper leaned fully into that role, loud, reckless, emotionally unavailable, but weirdly protective. And when the show finally revealed his full name, Raymond Esther Manchester, it felt like a reminder that under all that ego, there's still just a guy winging it. Cooper brought continuity, familiarity, and just enough chaos to keep the whole thing from falling apart. Then there's Schwoz, played by Michael D. Cohen. Schwoz was the brain behind everything, the inventions, the tech, the fixes when things went wrong. But more than that, he was the emotional glue. He actually cared if these kids survived. Michael D. Cohen played Schwoz with warmth under the weirdness, and without him, Danger Force would have just been noise. Choppa, or Volt, played by Havon Flores, was intensity from day one. She had electrokinesis, sure, but what stood out was her anger, her control issues, her fear of hurting people. When her full name, Lula Elena Choppa da Silva, was revealed, it added depth to a character who was always more guarded than she let on. Havon played Choppa like someone who didn't trust power, even when it came from herself. Miles, played by Terrence Little Gardenhigh, brought something different. Teleportation sounds cool, and it is, but Miles used humor to hide how unsure he really was. As AWOL, he could disappear physically, but emotionally, he was always trying to be seen. When we learn his last name is Macklin, it ties his story tighter to family, especially his relationship with his sister. Mika, played by Dana Heath, was confidence on the surface and pressure underneath. Her sonic scream and superhero name shoutout matched her personality perfectly. Loud, expressive, unapologetic. But she wasn't just noise. She was competitive, driven, and constantly trying to prove she belonged. Sharing the Macklin name with Miles made their sibling dynamic feel real, support mixed with rivalry. And then there was Bose, played by Luca Lujan. Bose, aka Brainstorm, had telekinesis and absolutely no filter. He wasn't dumb, he was just unbothered. The kind of kid who didn't overthink anything, which somehow made him dangerous and effective at the same time. Finding out his last name was O'Brien felt fitting. He was always a little detached from everyone else's chaos. What made Danger Force work wasn't the powers. It was the mess. Kids learning on the job. Adults pretending they know what they're doing. Mistakes that couldn't be undone with a reset button. Danger Force wasn't about becoming heroes. It was about being thrown into something bigger than you and hoping you don't mess it up too badly. And honestly, that's growing up. See you next time.